Welcome to Deep Cuff Channel. Probability of Russia winning the war is 0. Ukrainian army does not give rest to the Russian troops thanks to the strong operations it carries out. Russian fortress in Bakhmut has fallen. Russian Navy is in big trouble. Russian President Vladimir Putin gave his army a historic order. Air defense capability of the Ukrainian army has reached its peak with the newly arrived systems. New tank battalions are on their way to Ukraine. Crisis of the Russian army continues to grow with each passing day. As a result of the operations carried out the previous day, the Ukrainian army managed to destroy 720 soldiers, 5 tanks, 8 armored combat vehicles, 2 artillery systems, 2 multi-barrel rocket launcher systems, 2 tactical unmanned aerial vehicles, and 1 Russian ship. After these Russian losses announced by the Ukrainian General Staff, Vadim Skibitsky, deputy head of the intelligence department of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, made new statements about the war. According to Skibitsky, Russia, unable to prevent the advance of the Ukrainian army, decided to strengthen its defense lines and increase its missile attacks. In this context, the Ukrainian state border guards carried out an important attack on the critical Russian fortress in the Bakhmut region. It is stated that in the attack supported by artillery systems, this critical command center of Russia was destroyed as well as Ukrainian ground troops. This base was used as the headquarters of the Russian army's operations in the Donbass regions. It is stated that the Ukrainian army neutralized nearly 100 Russian soldiers in this attack alone. After this incident, the Ukrainian army announced that it had sunk a Russian ship preparing to attack in the southern region. It was noted that the Russian ship was hit by the Neptune anti-ship missile, which was produced locally and nationally by Ukraine. After these losses, Russia, which started a revenge attack against the Ukrainian army, attacked in the Orakhovo and Guliopol regions. These Russian attacks, which started in the strategic Zaporizhzhia region in the southern region, continue in the Kamiansk region. It is stated that the Russian army uses BM-21 Grad systems for these attacks. It was recorded that the Russian army carried out a total of 69 attacks on areas under the control of the Ukrainian army. In addition, according to the latest data announced by the Navy Press Service of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, Russia has also put its warships in the Black Sea into attack position. It is stated that Russia has currently deployed a total of 11 warships in the region. Russian Navy wants to use these ships in the southern offensive against the Ukrainian army. It is known that the Ukrainian army has strengthened its defense lines in the southern region to take precautions against these attacks. After this military activity in the southern region, Russia accelerated its preparations against the Ukrainian army via Belarus. According to Belarusian sources, Russia has begun to deploy anti-aircraft and anti-tank systems in strategic areas in the Gomel region. It is also stated that Russia has deployed missile systems of strategic value, especially in these regions, on the territory of Belarus. With a strategic counterattack from the southern and northern regions, Russia aims to break the resistance of the Ukrainian army and turn the tide of the war in its favor. However, the Ukrainian army is aware of this Russian strategy. According to the latest news, Italy sent SAMP-T systems to the region to increase the air defense capability of the Ukrainian army. Massive reinforcement in this part of Ukraine's defense gives a greater sense of security. This move by Italy came right after the missile and drone attacks that Russia has increased recently. Since the Ukrainian air defense shield has been strengthened in this way, we are curious about Russia's next move. In this context, the possible transfer of tanks to the Ukrainian army has been on the agenda for a long time. German Leopard and American Abrams tanks in particular could be game changers for the Ukrainian military. According to military analysts, Russia is aware of how successful these tanks will be at the front. For this reason, it is claimed that Russia will withdraw T-90 tanks from the region after a possible tank transfer to the Ukrainian army. Because Russia is aware that the T-90 tanks will not be able to withstand the Abrams or Leopard tanks. Ukraine is currently waiting for Germany's decision on this issue. According to the latest news on the subject, the German government will make its final decision on this transfer soon. This statement was made by the German Defense Minister, Boris Pistorius. According to Pistorius, Germany is in no hurry to take the right decision regarding this transfer. As a matter of fact, French President Emmanuel Macron is about to lead the tank transfer. In the news that emerged in the past days, it was revealed that France will supply the Ukrainian army with Leclerc main battle tanks. Given the fairly large number of Leclerc tanks in service with France, deliveries may include several dozen of these combat vehicles, while deliveries could begin in the spring. France's decision to transfer Leclerc tanks to Ukraine may also mobilize the USA and Germany. If these 3 tanks are put into the service of the Ukrainian army, it will not be difficult to think that nightmare days await the Russian army. In this context, the news that Morocco may send T-72 tanks to Ukraine has been keeping the media busy lately. Recent reports have reported that about 20 T-72B tanks have been supplied to the Kiev forces, making Rabat the first African country to send armored vehicles to the war-torn country. Czech Defense Firm Excalibur Army modernized the tanks before they were sent to Ukraine, according to a report published by independent military sources. T-72 tanks can be quickly integrated into combat, as they have been in service with the Ukrainian army for many years. This situation will add strength to the power of the Ukrainian army in this recent period of increased conflicts. Besides Morocco, Estonia also decided to supply the Ukrainian army with an FH-70 howitzer. This news was officially confirmed by the Estonian Chief of Staff. Estonia's decision to supply howitzer systems to Ukraine greatly angered Russia. As a matter of fact, Russia started to increase the severity of its political decisions against Estonia. Since Estonia is a former Soviet country, it has been under political and military pressure from Russia for many years. However, we have to say that this decision taken at the point we have reached is extremely critical for the Ukrainian army. Contrary to these aids that will reach the Ukrainian army, Russia has difficulties in providing weapons and ammunition to its soldiers at the front. Most important factor in winning the wars is the continuity of the weapons and ammunition you provide to your army. Russia cannot solve this problem somehow. Both the economic problems and the increase in the loss rate of the Russian army are pushing Vladimir Putin too much. It is known that the political future of Russian President Vladimir Putin is in danger if Russia cannot resolve this crisis it experienced during the war. Therefore, the Russian leader is aware that any success on the front will protect him. Of course, the Ukrainian army is aware of the problems in the Russian army. For this reason, I think that the attacks carried out by the Ukrainian army will increase in the coming weeks. Victory to Ukraine. We will continue to monitor the world and especially Ukraine. We'll see what happens in the next few days. We have reached the end of another video. You can support us by liking the video. You can easily follow new videos by subscribing. I wish you all a war-free day. See you.